He's a Billings teenager with high hopes of attending aviation school and flying. And that may be a little surprising considering what happened the last time that Reef Hogan was in an airplane.
When it comes to high school and that stuff, I'm not the best, but when it comes to aviation, I'm pretty good at it. I love it.
16-year-old Reef Hogan is obsessed with flying, even though he's still recovering from numerous injuries he suffered in last summer's plane crash, a broken ankle, broken heel, and back fractures.
I thought it was over. I just said, well, goodbye, world.
These are the remains of the Cessna 337 Skymaster that Reef, his father, and the pilot were flying in. They were on a trip from Helena to Jackson Hole when the engine stalled as they approached a mountain range in Madison County.
We weren't high enough to recover from a stall like that. And my dad just said, Reef, hold on. And I was like, I didn't say anything. I was like, oh God. I just thought that. And then he just said, I love you, son. And I just said, I love you too, Dad. And right as we hit the trees, the front of the plane gets torn open. The pilot on the left seat goes flying out. It was kind of hard to tell what happened to my dad.
Reef's father, Brandon Hogan, died in the crash. Brandon had a military and government background and worked in the film and movie industry.
He met people that hardly anybody got to meet. When I was 4, he introduced me and my brother to astronaut Buzz Aldrin because he was friends with him back then.
Reef credits his father for teaching him to stay strong and push through any situation. He found himself in an unimaginable one on that mountain, his father dead and the pilot injured and in shock.
I just thought, I gotta save him if he's still alive, and so I took my belt off and used it as a tourniquet on his leg so he wouldn't bleed out, and I crawled back over and I just lied down there and looked around, and I was scared because over by Ennis, that's bear country up on that mountain.
Fortunately, Reef was able to find his father's phone and somehow get a signal to call 911.
And the phone only had 9% left on it, and I somehow got a hold of him. And I talked to the lady on the phone. I just said, we're up in a plane crash southwest of Ennis Lake, and I think my dad's dead.
Reef and the pilot would spend another 5 hours at the crash site before rescuers could finally reach them. While he was lying there waiting,
I look over and I found my dad's watch, and this is a business Rolex that he would always wear whenever we go on a business trip or just in general. And I just looked at it and I was like, how did this end up by me?
While Reef went to the hospital where he stayed for almost a month, his clothes with the watch inside were cut off him and accidentally sent to the landfill.
And they just said, oh, we threw it away. And I was like, what?
And that's where his spinal surgeon, Dr. Ben Smith, comes in.
There's your wallet, okay? Thank you. And if you want some really gnarly, stinky clothes from the dump that are cut up, I got you a bag right here for Christmas.
I almost cried because of it. He lost his dad when he was young too, and he felt connection. So he went to a landfill outside of Bozeman for 3 hours with his family and some friends, and that really meant a lot.
And a miracle that they even found it in a landfill, you know, the watch.
And it's also a miracle that Reef survived to tell his story. He says he plans to chase his dreams like his father did, which include flying an airplane.
I want to get back up and flying that, you know. I'm not scared of it. I know what happens if I get into another one, but I don't plan to.
Well, one other part of the story, Reef's mother had recently started a new job and her insurance didn't go into effect until 2 days after that crash. A GoFundMe account has been set up to help with expenses. You can find that information when this story is posted on ktvq.com.